Hi, friends. Welcome to the Mastermind Moments podcast.
Hosted by your pals, Josh and Sasha.
Join us during our weekly mastermind as we collaborate on how to make the most out of our lives.
Not only are we going to mastermind our careers, we're going to work on all areas of life together.
Let's do it. Listen in as we make the most of our mastermind moments.
Howdy, howdy.
Hello, how's life?
Life is lifing. I know I've been saying that. I've been doing double sessions of therapy for the last 3 weeks, so 2 sessions a week for the last 3 weeks, which
Wow,
I
okay.
feel like says a lot about where I've been. I didn't do therapy for the whole first basically since mid-February or beginning of February for the whole, and there's so much that happened that my therapist and I were like, you need double sessions for a while.
And are you benefiting from that?
I think so. There's just so much to process emotionally with what's happening. It was funny because in our last session on Monday, he's like, you haven't talked about the breakup in a while. Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I feel like fine. I don't feel any particular way about it, but right now at least. There were moments, but I'm trying to figure out this whole situation with my 401k, and I'm like, this is something I would call my ex about and wish I could talk to him about it, but I can't. And that's stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's how life is going. But also just, we just talked about it offline. I'm here in Tampa, leaving for Phoenix tomorrow. This is the longest I've been in any place since the new year, 10 days, I think.
Wow.
So.
Wow. Must feel like home.
Not really.
There
Not
must
really.
be something keeping you there.
Dr. Leprechaun was gone over the weekend. He was gone for 4 days out of the 10. So, and he's been working too, which has been nice that I've had my own time to work and do my thing.
Yeah.
But
how is Tampa? Because you said you wanted to explore it a bit.
it's a really cute town and it's really nice and I like it, but it's just not for me long term.
No. Okay.
No, it just doesn't feel like, I don't get those, you know how you get that feeling, oh yeah, I could live here. I don't get that here. I'm like, it's really cute and really nice. It just doesn't speak to my soul.
No. Okay.
It's like a slower pace of life. Yeah, I don't know. And I was talking to Dr. Leprechaun about it because I told him, I'm like, this just doesn't feel like my spot. And he's, yeah, I get it. It's a slower pace of life. I like that because I'm constantly going places and it's nice to come back and they have things not so crazy. And I'm like, well, that's not my vibe.
Yeah. See, I'm the other way around. Like, I live in a city. I'm a big city boy, right? I'm a city boy born and raised. But it's nice to escape sometimes to the slower pace of life. So like when my dad lives where he moved to about 2 years ago, he lives out in the countryside where it's a completely different way of life, very, very slow. He's loving it, but I couldn't live out there. I could go there once a month just to escape the hustle and the bustle of the city, but I don't think I could live there. So it's the opposite for me.
Yeah, exactly. I feel the exact same way. I'm like, I love a big city. I'm a big city girl. Like, I enjoy it. And I've done the thing where he lives in the city. Like, everything's walkable, everything's good. It's just not really my vibe. But I'm the same way. Like, I like hustle bustle, and then I want to go out to the middle of nowhere to hang out or to chill. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
me too.
I've gotten to explore Tampa. I like it. It's really cute. I just don't see myself here long term.
No.
And
was that something you were thinking about, like staying there long term?
it was more just, okay, go to Dr. Leprechaun's life. And my mom told me to do this. We don't know if this is a rebound. We don't know if this is real. We don't have any idea. She's go to his life and see what his life is. See what his cities, see what his friends were like, see all of that. And that's what I did. And I came to his life and I was like, I like the life. It's just not my life. It's nice. Like, I like his area. I like the city's nice. Like, his friends are awesome. They were so welcoming and kind. Like, I hung out with his friend all weekend.
Nice.
His friend. Yeah. And they were so welcoming, so nice. I feel like if I moved here, I would have built-in community. I just don't feel called to the place.
No, fair enough.
Yes.
But could that be a future stumbling block? Is he set on his ways there? I also don't even know
No,
where you are with this whole thing, this whole thought process. So maybe that's a stupid or redundant question.
no, he's not set on Tampa.
Okay.
So if this is a real thing, it would be a conversation
Hmm.
about where we would end up. But again, I don't know if this is a real thing or not. I'm like, it's strange. Like this is a relationship. We're just not committed to each other, and it's basically an open relationship. We're acting like we're together,
Mm.
and we're just seeing other people, and it's, yeah, I guess. I just don't know how the fuck I got into this.
I do, but also it's not an open relationship. It's this is called, I think, what the kids say these days, a situationship, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's how situationships operate, and it's not for everyone. I think in our 20s it's quite normal to have relationships or situationships like this.
Mhm.
So I think
Yeah, it
open
is.
relationship is a bit unfair.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it is like I said, it is a situationship. That's what it is. And I don't know. Like, how am I with the whole thing? I don't know. I don't know. I
Mm.
feel like okay about I really like this guy. And I mean, like, do I love him? Yeah. It's just I don't know. There are things about it where it's yes, we're both seeing other people. And last night he picked me up from I was out on my evening walk and he picked me up and I like saw on his like screen like the recent phone calls and I was like, "Oh, he called some chicks like on the way home from work like to keep his roster
Mm.
going." And one of them was someone that we were both involved with during
Okay.
our little escapade.
Right, is that okay? The one in Utah?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Right.
So we had a little three situation escapade, whatever. And he's been calling like they've been talking and it's just for me, you and I have not talked about that
Mm.
escapade, which we really, really need to. But it like brought up these visceral feelings of jealousy. And I'm like, I don't have the right to feel. It's not that I don't have the right because I have the right to feel any emotions I want to feel, but I'm like, oh my God, these visceral feelings of jealousy are coming up, and this guy's not even my boyfriend. And
Right.
maybe it's because this was someone that we were both involved with, and in that situation, I ended up feeling left out. And
Mhm.
so now this is just re-triggering that, which I know is what's coming up, but it's still difficult. And I don't know. I'm like, oh, I'm in my mind, I'm giving this guy I'm like treating him like he's my partner, but I have to remember he's on the roster. Like, what am I doing, basically?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I just need to go kiss other things
Yeah,
to,
I think that was always probably the best way forward, right? And unfortunately, unfortunately, you stumbled into a certain situation, in brackets, ship, right now, and you know how I feel. You know how I feel about
I know
this,
how you
I
feel about it.
I'm not
I know you
gonna
feel about
I'm
it.
not gonna sound like a broken record and keep telling you that it's it's not the right thing and that you should just end it and move on. And if it's there in a year, then it's there in a year. But also,
Yeah.
it's a tough
We
situation because
talked
you're in the situation now, so it's hard to get out of it. And I know where you are. I've been there before. We've all been there before. Well, not quite in this situation, as it's quite complicated, but it's tough.
Yeah, it's like I know how you feel about it. I need to send, for those of you listening, I sent Josh, we talked about it last week, how we haven't had our voice messages back and forth. I sent Josh a 17-minute voice message and we lost it, which is really upsetting because there were a lot of things that we had to go over and talk about. And yeah, I know how you feel about it. I think my therapist feels the same way about it. For me, we talked last week about the options that Dr. Leprechaun and I had about this whole thing. We went through the options and we're like, we like option 3 the best, where we keep things the way they are, where we just talk, we do our thing, we also see other people, whatever. Just like keep the situationship going because we enjoy being in it so much and we enjoy each other so much that it's like, why end it?
Yeah,
Yeah. But I
yeah.
think for me personally, I think I need to expand
Hmm.
expand my shit because it's like I'm getting so caught up in one guy that I'm
Yeah, but as I said last week, it's hard to have that mindset because as human beings, we mate for life. We're built psychologically to mate for life, right? And so it's not easy to go through whatever phase you want to call it, a hoe phase or a kissing other things. It's not easy to do that because it's not in our nature, as we discussed last
yeah.
week. So it's muscle that you need to build, especially coming from a 7-year relationship. You're so used to having that life partner around you, right? So it's a muscle that needs to be built, really, I think. But the only way you can build a muscle is by being uncomfortable and pushing yourself and putting yourself in that situation.
Mhm. Yeah. And yeah, that's completely right.
I have a
So
question
solitude
actually.
is something. Yes, please
Is
ask away.
historically, have you always been someone have you been someone that catches feelings easily?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I catch feeling. My mom tells me I feel very quickly and very deeply.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So my mom tells me that I do that, and I do. Not even just with romantic partners, but with friends, with like random things. Like I just
hmm
feel really quickly and really deeply, and that's something that's real, and it's just who I am. I just accidentally fell into something with someone who also does that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think after being here, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I need some time for solitude, I think, which
hmm
is something my therapist and I have talked about. Okay, he's like, you don't know how to be alone, period. Go take some time to be by yourself, not with a guy, but not with talking to anybody, period. I'm like, yeah, fucking smart.
That's probably a good idea,
I,
actually. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, okay, take 2 weeks, go out into the middle of nowhere and just do my thing, and talked about doing that. But then also, I was talking to Dr. Leprechaun about that last night, and yeah, like that would be a really good exercise for you to step out of your comfort zone. He's like, but at the same time, like being a social person is in your nature, and it is like such a top strength for you. He's like, you don't ask a squirrel. What did he say? You don't ask a squirrel to fly. He's like, you ask a squirrel to climb up a tree and eat fucking nuts. He's, you
Mm,
know, or
yeah,
you don't ask a
but I think that's slightly different. It's a fair thing to say, but at the same
yeah,
time, we need to become comfortable by ourselves, right? It's a really, really important trait to have. And right now, it sounds like I'm sure you are, but you're not doing it enough. And so I think it's a really important thing to do every now and then. You don't have to constantly be alone. It's not like you're constantly saying to the squirrel, you're poking a squirrel and saying, fly, 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 right? You are every now and then, as human beings, it's really healthy to be by ourselves. So
yeah,
it's, yeah, I agree. I see what he's saying, but I don't think it applies here.
yeah. No, I think time for solitude is something that I definitely need. And I think I have some time in March. I have 2 weeks where I don't know what I'm doing. So I have 2 weeks where I don't know what I'm doing.
Mm,
So we'll see. I'm
yeah.
seeing if I can get that in there, I will. There are a couple other options I want to consider, but if I can get that in there, I will. I mean, I want to make time for it and I want to prioritize it. I'm just like, I feel like the year is going so fast and time is going so fast. And it's
Yeah,
it's so
it is.
crazy.
It is. We're already pretty much in March, which is insane, right?
I know. My
Terrifying.
family was like, she might not want to be done traveling after the year, which is true. Because I'm not going to get a chance to do and see everything I wanted to. I really wanted to
Yeah.
spend time in South America. And I'm like, there's going to be 1 month where I'm able to
Yeah.
do that.
Well, why do you have to limit it to a year, right? It doesn't, because the way you've approached it has been one calendar year. Surely you just do it until you feel ready to stop doing it.
Yeah, completely. So I don't have to put a timeline on anything. I don't have to make it be something. Like I feel like I'm trying to control everything and put it in a box, like this situationship or this year or whatever, and I'm trying to put it into the thing, and it doesn't have to be that. It can be
hmm
whatever it needs to be. It can be wide open.
Yeah.
But first I'm like just trying to control it. because it's like I'm trying to create certainty in my own mind about situations when I don't have certainty. And this is what this year is about, was like leaning into uncertainty, like learning how to give up that top need that I had of
Hmm.
certainty and just being able to let go of it and be like, okay, I don't know. I don't know. So that's that. I am let's spin a wheel. What skills have been most valuable in your career development?
I had a job interview yesterday. We
Oh,
discussed last
right.
week about the
Yes.
Zoopla thing, and
Yeah.
that was one of the questions that was asked. It's like a typical job interview question. I think, ask the question again.
What skills have been important in your career
Yeah,
development?
I think integrity. I think integrity has been so important for me because for most of my career, pretty much the whole of my career so far, the last 10 years, I've been in sales largely.
Hmm.
And I think having an element of integrity and trustworthiness goes such a long way. I think people don't like to buy from people who are too pushy or who they feel that they don't trust, or from people that just the typical hard salesperson, like the sort of kind of comedy caricature of a salesperson where they talk really fast and like with this big like fake voice, and they're overly groomed and stuff, and you just can't trust those people, right? I think
Yeah.
there's a common conception and stereotype that you can't trust salespeople. So I like to think that I've built the success in my career based on integrity and being trustworthy and approachable, and people like me and people will buy from people that they like, right? So I like to think that that's been a huge key to success in my career for sure, working in sales.
Yeah. I think for me, it's been the just the willingness to roll up your sleeves and learn and do the work. So, like my background, I don't think I've ever worked for an actual big corporate company
Hmm.
ever. I've only worked for small startups where it was me and or like less than 30 employees or less, or a lot of my jobs were just me and the founder, where I had to, pick up and do the work myself and be like, okay, I'm running operations, I'm running
Mm.
marketing, I'm running HR. Just, I don't know what I'm doing. Just roll up your sleeves and figure it out. Everything is figure outable. So it's just like the willingness to try, to fail, to learn, to just do the job. That's been the most helpful. And then also you get to learn a lot of different things and see what you like and see what you don't like. And that's that. But
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's interesting. Savita, she has finally had a job offer, which is good news. However,
yeah.
not with a sponsorship, but it's a startup. So it's a very small startup. So this is why I'm bringing it up now, because of what you were talking about. It's a very
Yeah.
small startup. They have talked about the possibility of sponsoring her if it comes to it down the line. And what I've said and what we've agreed is that if she proves in the next 6 months or so, 6 months plus, that she is invaluable to them, that she really is a key member of the team, and they really see growth under her, then surely they'll have no choice but to sponsor, right? So I don't think it's such a bad option to go for them.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because her role seems very varied. It seems like what you were just talking about, as I guess most positions are in very small startups. You
Mhm.
have to be adaptable, you have to be a jack of all trades. So someone asked me a couple of days ago, one of my friends said, "So what is it that Sasha actually does?" And I was like, you know what? I don't actually know. Like, we've spoken about the industry that you're working in, but I've never actually got into the nitty gritty of what you actually
Of like what
do.
I do.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I don't know. And they were like, you talk for an hour every week and you don't know what she does. I was like, she probably doesn't know what I do either.
Well, yeah, you're a sales person for a real estate thing and you sell properties in London.
It's not quite. That makes me sound like a real estate agent, and I'm not. So
Oh, okay. Okay, this just in, two best friends. Literally, Josh is my best friend on the planet. Two best friends don't know what each other does for a living. It's that episode of Friends where they're like, Chandler is a trans monster.
yeah.
That's okay. So what do you do? What do you do for a living?
So I run the auctions department for a major UK, also major global real estate brand, right?
Okay.
So I run the UK division, which means that I don't really sell houses. I manage offices that sell houses. So I oversee about 33 different offices at the moment, which have their own sales divisions. They sell the properties, the real estate in their area. And I
Mm-hmm.
make sure that we're maximizing every opportunity from those areas on the auction side of things. So I make sure that if there's any properties that are suitable for auction, that they're referring them over, that they're setting them up for auction. So it's more of a management role than a hard sales role. There is a lot of sales involved still, which is my
Yeah.
least favorite part of the job, but that's what I do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really cool. I didn't know that about you. It's funny because when people ask me what I do, because I have the business and then I have my 9 to 5, I always say the business first. Always.
Yeah.
Like when people are like, what do you do? And I'm like, I have 2 podcasts and I have a job in beauty. My background's in fashion. So I've grew up in the fashion industry, worked there, but then COVID happened. I like got out of a toxic job and there was like a whole thing. I now work in the beauty industry, which makeup has never been my thing, but I'm a customer experience manager for a beauty brand. And so what that entails is basically just making sure all the customers are taken care of and dealing with the customers and then taking all of that data, and I also use AI a lot in my job, but taking all that data, compiling it, and basically helping the team innovate based on all the customer feedback we're getting.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's, oh, all the customers are saying that this product has like this fault, or they love this about this product, or they fucking hate our shipping, or whatever. Like I'm taking all that data and I'm feeding it back to the team to make sure everything's running smoothly on the front end, on the back end, innovation, things like that. I also am co-head of the sustainability team there, which is like
Okay.
a self-appointed role. Me and my work wife we are the only two people who have been there since launch. So I've been there in March, it'll be 3 years, or sorry, 4 years in March. There's
Wow.
only 3 people who've been with the company that long: me, my work wife, and the founder. She and I care about sustainability, so we're like the self-appointed heads of the sustainability team, which is fun because we just get on a call once a week and half of it is us like talking, and then the other half is, okay, so what do we want to do for sustainability for this team? Which I highly suggest for anyone who's in a corporate thing. If like you have a work friend, start your own sub team and do these
Yeah.
extra projects, because it's cool. It's cool to be like, oh yeah, like getting certifications, that's my job, or organizing the company volunteer days or whatever. It's funny because I'll organize all the professional development days. And like my French teacher from high school will go to the office to teach them French and I'm not even there. Stuff like that. But I love my team. I love my work. I am so grateful for them that they enable me to do what I'm doing. And I got this job I've been fully remote for 4 years. I like at one point when I was in New York, I would go in twice a week. But I love this job because I love the company. I really align with the values. I really align with the mission. It's French, which keeps me in touch with a piece of culture that's really important to me. And it's also, they give me the time and location flexibility that is anything. Like I could be making way more somewhere else. Like I know
Right.
that. Like I know
Mhm.
with my skills, like I know I could be making a ridiculous amount, like way, way more. But it's like I don't think I could ever give up this life of
Mhm.
being able to work where I want, when I want. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and being taken care of in that way. So yeah, that's what I do for my 9 to 5. That's so funny.
Good to know. Good to know. I knew obviously because when I was in Miami last year, this time last year, that was almost a year ago. How crazy is that?
No, March,
Yeah,
March.
yeah, exactly. It's March in 3 days.
I'm actually going to Miami Music Week
Are you?
because I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be in town for. It's funny because I can say this because it's gonna come out later. I'm gonna be in town for the Call Her Daddy spring break event,
Yeah.
which I don't have anyone to go with me, so I'm still trying to find someone to split that with me. I'm like, I spend a pretty penny on it, and I'd love to split that, but whatever. Um, so that, and then I'm like, oh well, the next weekend is Ultra, so I should just stay through the week and then hang out with all my friends the next week. So I'm gonna be doing that, and then in between Mardi Gras and then like the Miami thing, I have 2-3 weeks in there in March that I'm not doing anything.
Oh,
Like, do I want to? I don't know what I want to do or where I want to go or whatever. Trying to I like don't want to figure it out, but I want to figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. And then, yeah. So basically, that's that. And
Nice.
okay. Number one, have you heard about Burning Man?
Heard about Burning Man, as in
Like
like with
from
my
your
job?
job?
No,
Yes.
because I've had work's just been so busy, so I need to follow up. My boss is just we were actually complaining about it, and I hope he doesn't listen to this podcast, but there's been so much chatting shit about my job, but we have like a sub group chat amongst a few of us, like a few employees, where we just it's called I Am Struggling, and it's just a struggle kind of bitching group chat basically. And we were talking today about how unavailable our director is and how like he's just too busy to help us and to deal with us at the moment. So
Yeah.
that has been a problem. Yeah.
We'll definitely get on it because like we have 6 months to plan this thing, and like I have my ticket, but I haven't started planning anything, and like I got to get on that. It's something I'm looking into
Of
because it's like a lot of planning.
course.
And I also got my ticket for Date with Destiny
No way. In
and
person?
yes, and my hotel room, and my hotel room sleeps 6 people. Just say it.
Oh, when is it?
December 5th through 10th.
Mm.
It's my busy season, but I've already requested the time. I'm like, I know that it's my busy season, but it's like I need to go.
It's so hard for me because I honestly have no idea where I'm going to be come the end of the year. Like I think there's a very, very slim chance I'll still be working at this company. I'll be a teacher by then,
You'll
flying
be a
planes.
pilot,
Yeah.
a teacher.
No, but I really do. I know you you just rolled your eyes, but I really don't think I will be at this company come the end of the year. So it's
Okay.
best case scenario, I'm not. And then I can go
Yeah.
to Burning Man, and then I can go to Date with Destiny with no problems because with what I'm planning to do, I'll be able to have time off around then. So that's the ideal scenario. But Date with Destiny, I feel like it's like perfect timing for a Tony event, let alone Date with Destiny.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think
So,
so.
God.
I think so. Part of me is just, I want to see you. But then I'm like, I know I'm going to see you all summer
Yeah.
because I'll be in Europe all summer and we'll just like, I'll go visit you. I'm sure you'll come visit me. And then we can always meet somewhere
I'll
and
tell you what I
go
am
cool
doing in the
places.
summer in Europe
What are you
is I'm
doing?
gonna go to Tomorrowland. I don't know if I told you that. Did I tell you that I'm going
No,
to
but I could
Tomorrowland?
be down.
So Tomorrowland is last weekend of July,
Okay.
and I still haven't had that approved, that time off. But I bought a ticket anyway because it's so hard to get a ticket sometimes. So I
Yeah.
managed to get a ticket. But that'd be pretty sick.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what I want to do in Europe other than I know I want to do Croatia Yacht Week.
Right. Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like Croatia Yacht Week is like exactly the kind of summer you need.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why no one has flown me out to Aspen yet. I'm here and I'm waiting. Hello. I met a girl, Dr. Leprechaun's friend, this past weekend, and she's also nomading and living nowhere out of a suitcase. I've met so many people who do that. Like, it's actually insane. But then she also doesn't work. And I'm like, so she just travels full time and doesn't work at all. And I was like, how the fuck? Like, I'm doing this wrong. She just has people, like, she's, I think, kind of sugar babying full time.
Okay.
But she's just having people, like, pay for her flights. I'm like, what the hell am I doing?
Is
What am I
she
doing paying for these
Yeah,
flights?
that's a very good point. If I was a woman, if I
Like,
had
why am I
boobs,
not taking advantage?
I
Yeah,
would
that's what I'm
be
saying.
straight on OnlyFans. Maybe that's a stretch, but I would. I've always said this. I would 100% have an OnlyFans if I was a woman. Like, I know I've
Yeah.
got I think 4 or 5 friends who have OnlyFans, and they are making a killing, and they live the life.
Yeah, I don't know if I would do OnlyFans. Also, like, my podcasts are so much work. I did interview people for an intern position. So, two
Okay. Oh,
candidates right
good.
now.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm in a place right now where I'm like, yeah, I'm like realizing like I knew this. I'm like, I tripled my workload for my business. And also, I saw 52% growth in my first podcast.
Wow.
Yeah. Since the new year. It's like the numbers have literally doubled.
Yeah, that's big. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And that's
things
since
are
you started
going.
posting a second episode, right? You said, yeah.
Yeah, which makes sense. Like the downloads double because the amount of episodes coming out
Sure.
doubled. And I'm enjoying that process. I'm enjoying the interviews. I'm enjoying all of it. It's just a lot of work,
Does
but I
that
think getting
also
someone to
mean
help,
does that also mean 50% more revenue as well?
the revenue's jumping, but
Yeah.
like jumping is basically it's like
But still,
it's like
it's progress, right?
yeah, it's progress. Like the amount that like I had my first like I've been making revenue with it for I guess almost a year now, like 9 months, but in 9 months it's been basically jack shit and it's been amazing. But it's like now I have my first payout because okay, but you have to take some money out of this.
Hmm.
But whatever. Not a ton, but whatever. Anyway, what wheel of life, what's going well, what's not going well, what's happening?
So
Also I saw you were traveling. Thank God you got out. Like what's going on?
yeah, what the fuck? So I was in Poland for my friend's birthday, his 31st birthday. We did a winter trip last year, which was really cool, to
Mhm.
Finland. So we were like, why don't we do it again this year? Somewhere we'll just find an Airbnb anywhere, an Airbnb that looks cool, and we'll just fly there, wherever it is in the world, within reason, basically in Europe. And so we flew to Poland. We had this sick Airbnb about 2 hours outside of the capital, which is Warsaw, just in the middle of miles and miles of forest. It was really, really beautiful. And it was a great trip. It was a really good trip. I guess something worth talking about, because I guess this ties into my kind of social life, is I saw a different side to that friendship group because interestingly, our group chat is called Fam Willing to Have Fun, right? Now,
Okay.
what would you think of a group that says that they're willing to have fun? You would expect that they're up for going out and about and exploring and going for nice walks and stuff, right? You wouldn't
Mhm.
expect that they would go to the other side of Europe, literally Eastern Europe, Poland, fly, spend close to £200 on flights on an Airbnb just to stay in the Airbnb for 4 days, right? Would you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. And that's not the way that I've seen that friendship group. So I was a little bit taken aback when literally the first day there, well, the first night there was we all arrived quite late. Everyone got a bit too drunk and they were really hungover the next morning. And they just wanted to stay indoors in the Airbnb and just watch Disney movies all day, right? And I'm like, I get it if you're hungover, but you can do that back home in London. Like, what's the point in flying? And we're only there for Thursday, Friday, 5 days, 4 days, but four
Right.
days. We're only there for
Right.
4 days, right? So it's a waste of time. I don't know how you feel about that, but to me, it just didn't really feel right.
I'm the same way. Take advantage of
Yeah.
yeah.
And I get it. Like, if you, like, for you, when you were in Australia, you were there for a month, you were there for a good amount of time. So it's understandable that you're not going to fill all your time doing stuff every single day. But when you're somewhere for 4 days, it just seems a bit crazy to me. So that was disappointing. However, me being me, I took myself off and did my own shit, basically. That day,
Good.
I basically just did some research. I saw what was in the area and I found like literally a 10-minute walk up the road from our Airbnb, an abandoned holiday park,
Oh,
which was
cool.
fucking sick. And I just told a couple of people, I was like, I've just seen there's an abandoned swimming pool because that's what it looked like up the road. Does anyone want to come? And two people came with me, the interesting people, clearly. And it was cool. And then the next day we went for a long hike, and half the group were saying, "Can we go back yet?" And I'm like, "No, what is the point in in being in Poland?" So that was a bit shocking to me, and it really made me rethink that particular social group, which I think has been a theme throughout my life over the last couple of months, is rethinking
Yes.
who I'm surrounding
Yes.
myself with. Am I inspired by these people? And I came to the conclusion over that weekend, no, I'm not. With most of them, some of them, yes. So that was that. Then Sunday night, we were meant to be flying back, and we got to the airport like normal 2.5 hours early. And the passport control to get out of the country took about an hour and a half, and we ended up missing our flight. And it was just gutting, just so disappointing because the airport wouldn't help us, the airline wouldn't help us. I stupidly didn't have travel insurance, I never do. So I was looking at flights the next day, and obviously we had to book a hotel that night, and it ended up costing me about £250 extra, which is, in the grand scheme of things, not a huge amount of money, but it hurt because it
Yeah.
went against all of my budget for that trip.
Yeah.
So that was a bit painful. But then we got back the next day. I met a fascinating guy who we also got a hotel with because they'd also missed their flight.
Yeah.
He was in the UK Army, the British Army, and he left the army to go and fight solo on the front line in Ukraine against Russia. He just wanted to take down Russia by himself. And he almost died. He got hit by a bomb or a grenade. He
What?
fractured his spine. And then in the Ukrainian hospital, he met someone there who offered him a job working in military drones. So, like,
Okay.
mad, really cool guy. But yeah, so that's the story of my weekend. But overall, life, as I said, social, iffy at the moment. I don't feel terrible about it, but it's something that I do need to start thinking about because I think I will start to get lonely if I continue the way I'm going. Work, I'm about to get my highest ever paycheck. So next month, because of my results this month, I'll be paid the most I've ever been paid in a single month, which is great. However, I still hate the job. It's still very boring. I am very financially motivated, but it's just too stressful and too boring and too micromanagey. So I had the interview with Zoopla yesterday, which I honestly I came out of it. I hung up on the call and I said to myself, that went really badly. And I felt really bummed out about it. I was like, he just didn't give a good vibe.
Mm-hmm.
He gave the kind of classic job interview rejection, I thought, I said to him, so what are the next steps? And he said, well, we are seeing lots of people for this role, so we'll probably get back to you. He said that a few times, and I was like, it just doesn't give a good vibe. But they came back to me
Yeah.
today and offered me the final round interview.
Wow. Okay, so it
So,
didn't go as bad as you thought.
so
I
I
feel
was
like
completely
sometimes that
wrong.
happens.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so. But I was completely wrong, which is good news. So that'll be interesting. It may or may not be the right thing. As I said last week, the money's better than what I'm on now. The job is potentially better, but I don't know. We'll see if it's putting my life on hold. But as we discussed last week, I think if I'm earning more money, it's a no-brainer. If I get offered the job, it's a no-brainer, right? Even temporarily.
Right.
And in the meantime, I was waiting and waiting for an update on my pilot application.
Mm-hmm.
And literally within 10 minutes of that other email coming through, I got an update saying, we'll get back to you by the 7th of March. So the end of next week, basically.
Wow.
So who knows? I might have two big job offers by the end of next week.
That's so wild. That's so wild. Whoa.
Yeah. So career, I think, is on the right path. Is on the right path. At the moment, it's my current job is not great, and I'm not enjoying it. But I think I'm going in the right direction with the right thought process. I just want to get started on a business, but
You are getting started on a business.
no, I know. Sorry, I mean
I know
something.
what
You
you
know what I
mean.
meant, like the other
I
thing
know
that
what you mean, but also just remind yourself,
I
like,
know.
this is a business.
I know, of course, of course. What I mean, I don't know how to describe it, to be honest.
You're
You know
saying.
what
I
I'm
know
saying?
exactly what you're saying.
I think a personal hustle, I guess, is probably a better way to put it. In an ideal world, I want to be having multiple streams of serious income, whether that be from a main job, the podcast, and another business, or just from the podcast and another business. But I think
Mm-hmm.
another business is the next big step for me. So yeah, I've got things to focus on.
I feel like there's this pattern that you have that needs to be worked through and healed in order for for any business you start to be successful. And the pattern is knowing exactly what you need to do and then not doing it.
Hmm.
Because if in entrepreneurship, like no one is riding your back being like, this is due on March 7th. This is due this time. No one's doing that.
No.
Like it's all self-imposed deadlines, and you have to be on your own ass and like actually be like, okay, this needs to get done, and then do it.
Hmm.
Like it's so like that pattern needs to be like worked through. And I
Yeah.
don't know if you would do that through the business. Like maybe it looks like starting a business and getting through this pattern through that, like almost using it as an avenue to build up muscle, or maybe it looks like healing it before. I don't know, but just like as a your accountability partner and like a mirror, like how are you going to start a business when you know
No, no, no,
you know
100%, 100%. Yeah, and you're completely right. And also, that translates, I think, across the whole of my wheel and the whole of my life. Another thing worth mentioning from this week is obviously being a birthday trip. There were a lot of photos taken. That was a hot tub at the place, and my
I know where this is going.
do you? Okay, so there were photos taken in the hot tub that were uploaded yesterday, and there's like 2 or 3 photos of me sitting on the edge of the hot tub because it was like -5 outside, so -5 Celsius, which is I guess much more in Fahrenheit, right? Or,
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. It's cold.
It's,
It's
it's
cold.
it's like below freezing, like well below
Yeah.
freezing. So it's -5 inside, but then it was also too hot inside. So there were a couple of times where I'd sit like on the edge and trying to
Yeah.
kind of like get myself cold so it would feel even nicer when I get in.
Mhm.
Um, and the photos were like it's the before and a before and after, right? I looked at them, I was like, I had no idea I looked like that. Like
Yeah.
my belly is hanging, like it's disgusting. And this isn't like me being bad body image or anything.
Yeah.
I looked at it, I'm like, the state of that's not okay. And I've let myself go so badly. It's really bad. And that comes from, again, shitty diet, which has got better over the last couple of months, but it comes and goes. I need a consistently good diet, and I
Mhm.
need a consistently good workout routine that keeps going for months and months. I have to get rid of it. The summer's coming. Summer's almost upon us.
I know. I know. It's gotta get into the shape right now. Yeah, I get you on the physical health front. I'm like, I feel it in my face. I'm like, I feel
Mm.
like I'm gaining weight in my face. Even though like I'm using I don't have a scale anywhere, which I think might be good, but I'm using like clothing as like a marker of, okay, clothes are still fitting. Like things I didn't used to fit into anymore are still fitting. I'm meeting my dad in Phoenix, and he's bringing a bag of stuff for me, and then I'll send some stuff home with him. And I had my mom specifically put in my favorite jeans that are like a marker of how I'm doing physically. And I'm not trying to make myself feel bad about it, but I'm like, I need something that's gonna help me like stay on track, basically.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, but I get you on the physical health front. The last 2 days, I've actually moved my body, diet wise and food wise, have not been it.
Okay.
Like, not at all. And drinking and substances. Like, I think in the last, I don't know, it'd be a really interesting exercise to go through all of these days and be like, how many days have I done a substance versus been like sober?
Mm. Interesting. Still, even after Utah, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's like a glass of wine or a fucking a hit on the weed pen. It's just so
Mm.
easy.
Mm.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I am doing tonight is I'm seeing Steph.
Oh, cute. Nice. How far is she from Tampa?
It's 2 hours
Okay.
and we're not really meeting in the middle. We're driving an hour and a half. We're like meeting somewhere in the middle but closer to them. And I'm dreading the drive, but I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I really need to see like a grounding friend.
Of
Like, I mean,
course.
I talk to
Yeah.
you once a
Not
week,
sure, but
but I think I
actually,
need like a friend to come and slap me in the face. And I told her, I was like, please slap me in the face.
I actually think Steph is like the perfect person to be around in your current position.
Yeah. I need like cuz I've been around a lot of people, but there are people like we talked about this in like the first or second episode, like the circles of people around you. And this is something that you're going through also is who do you want to surround yourself with? Who do you want to be around? And there are circles and in my inner circle, like literally the next one outside of my parents are you, Stephanie, Mary, some of the people we've had on this podcast, honestly, pretty much the people we've had on this podcast.
Mm.
But Stephanie is like inner circle. Like you and Steph are my best friends. And it's when everything went down with my ex, like Stephanie was my first call,
Of
like my
course.
first
Yeah.
call. So I really need to be around someone who, like a grounding friend, you know, who knows me and who can shoot the shit with me straight. So it's like I'm dreading the drive, but I'm not even dreading it because it's like still gonna be fun. But I really need to see her, basically.
Yeah,
I'm really excited about that.
good.
Yeah, but I get you with physical health. Like it's that area of the wheel of life. And I think that's just been consistent since I started traveling is
Mm,
I've been walking and that's how I've been staying active because that's how I'm seeing cities. I'm just going and walking
of
around.
course.
But I hit a workout on Monday,
Mm.
went for a nice long walk yesterday, which is like a start, and I'm just, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's hard to build consistency when you're traveling and when you're not in one place like you haven't been, but there are ways. There are ways, and you can just adapt the way that you work out, the way that you move your body. As you said, you've been walking a lot. Walking is a great way to stay active and to lose weight as well. As long as you're
Hmm.
brisk walking and you're actually walking enough, it's a really good way to do it. I think a lot of bodybuilders actually just walk for their cardio, if you can even call it that, but it keeps them
Yeah.
trim. So actually, also,
I would
it's a
always count.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
go
a
ahead.
big thing in Scandinavia. I remember when I went, I think it was Sweden, and I heard
Okay.
about this thing that Swedes do. A lot of Swedes do to keep active in their old age and to not age as rapidly, at least from a cardiovascular perspective, is they go for brisk walks. And I didn't really understand what that meant until I was there and I was walking around the park. And when they say brisk, they mean brisk. They are walking.
They're
So, but
they're
it's a
walking.
really good way to stay active if you can't do anything else.
Exactly. And when I was in Miami, it was like the bare minimum is I would go for a walk once a day. If I didn't go to the gym, that's fine. Didn't get a workout, that's fine. As long as I went for a walk, that's all that mattered.
Mm,
And I think implementing that rule or that guideline is really helpful. Like, even if I don't work out, as long as if I just go out for a walk. And that's what I was yesterday. I had I got so much done and like I was sitting and I was working and it was like, I was done my work and I was like, okay, like what would I do if I was in Miami? I'd go for my evening walk. And that's what I did. And I was like, wow, this is like good. Like, it's good to just get out of where I am,
mm,
go for a walk. Yeah. So physical health is like meh. Physical environment is it's going well because I'm like constantly going from place to place.
mm, mm,
My therapist says that I he doesn't really sound like Dr. Leprechaun's a rebound, but it sounds like your lifestyle is a rebound.
mm. Interesting.
Like your yeah, he said when you were with your ex and when you were with Miami, it was like so stable and so settled, and you guys were looking at buying an apartment, and it was just like you were in your routine and you were like in it. It was like you were settling down, and the rebound is you won't stay anywhere for longer than 5 to 10 days, you
Mm.
know?
Yeah, that's very interesting, actually.
Yeah, he said that. He said there's been a lot that J Money has said. A lot. He had me go through. I had to journal about what I was looking to gain from 3 questions. What I was looking to gain from the experience. What due to the experience, what has been added to my life, and due to the experience, what has been depleted from my life.
Hmm.
Which it's a really interesting exercise, and I recorded a pod about it yesterday because I was like, okay, audio journaling still counts. So I did a pod about it and then I also journaled about it, and it's so split. There's a lot that I was looking to gain from the experience that I am gaining from the experience, and then also there's a lot that's been added to my life and a lot that's been depleted from my life due to this. But I think that's just like any situation. Like, even
Hmm.
if I moved to a new place, let's say I went through my breakup and just moved to, I don't know, Nashville, there'd still be positive and negatives there too. You know what I mean?
Of
It's
course.
just this is so different.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. It's like have given up my routine. I've given up stability. I've given up like my physical health has fallen through or has been falling through the cracks. Like some of my relationships with my friends. There are people I said, "Oh yeah, we'll catch up," and then just haven't talked to them since the new year.
Right. Why do you think that
You
is?
know,
Just
just
you're
like
unsettled?
I'm just in transit constantly, and it's
Yeah.
like the time. Like, I had this list of an ongoing call list of, okay, whenever I need to call somebody, these are the people I need to check in with.
Mm,
And I haven't been. And how much of it also is me and Dr. Leprechaun? It takes up a lot of my space, takes up a lot of my emotional energy. And it's something we've talked about a lot in the last couple weeks. And I think I don't know, we pretty much talked through all the points of it all. There's stuff I need to share with you privately, but There's a lot of stuff I need to share with you privately,
Mhm.
actually. But yeah, it's like how much of my space is being taken up by that. But what's been added to my life is like I'm seeing the world, I'm experiencing new cultures, I'm meeting new people, I'm connecting with friends that I haven't seen in a decade and strengthening my relationships that are everywhere. And I am stepping outside of my comfort zone. I'm learning how to go with the flow. I'm learning how to control everything less. Like my career is, my business is doing well, you know, and
Mhm.
it's just a mix, but out of the experience, it's like pretty split evenly between like positive and negatives, but what I'm hoping to give for the experience, my mantra, which I've said a million times, I'm gonna say it again, is surrender to the experience.
Mhm.
Surrender to the experience, step outside of my comfort zone, develop a better relationship with myself, really focus on fun and personal growth, new skills, things like that. Yeah.
And get a
And I feel
sugar daddy.
yeah, basically. No, I don't know if I want like someone to pay for my life. Listen, I do want to be flown out places. I'm not gonna lie, but that's also like low key being courted.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
You know what I mean? I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm out here in Tampa. Why was my flight not comped?
Yeah.
Like what? Like why did I pay for this flight?
Yeah, right.
But
And
then it's also, I don't know. That's the difference between treating this person like a partner versus like a roster boy. If it was a roster boy, I would have been like, okay, you want me to come to Tampa? Book me a flight. But
roster
because
boy, I love that term.
yeah, but because I'm treating him like a partner, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll take care of it, whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't know.
A mix,
It's a
a
lot.
mix,
It's a
and that's
mix.
to be expected, I think, with what you're going
Yeah.
through, and as you say, surrender to the experience, allow it to happen.
Mm. Yeah. Surrender to the experience, allow it to happen. I feel like I don't know. It's like I keep asking myself, like, what am I doing with my life? Am I doing the right thing? I don't know. Like I know you and my therapist are pretty aligned on a lot. Be alone, cut this thing off, like whatever. And I just feel like am I doing, I don't know, just in general, am I doing the wrong thing? Or like, why? I don't know. I don't think
I don't think
so.
you're doing the wrong thing, and I don't think there is necessarily a wrong thing. I think you are going through various experiences and you can only learn from them, right? So there's not necessarily a wrong thing, there's just something that's going to help you get on the right path, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
I think that's the key distinction there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. I don't know. It's very sometimes I just feel like I'm constantly messing everything up and I'm not doing anything right and I don't know what I'm doing, but it's at the same time it's like that's what this is. This year is messy. I'm not supposed to know what I'm doing.
Mm.
I'm supposed to just be surrender to the experience. Okay, if this is what the experience is, this is what the experience is. What can I learn from the situation? And now that we're getting towards the end of the month, it's like really thinking about, okay, what what lessons have I learned in the second month of doing this? I've been traveling full time for exactly 2 months,
Mhm.
basically. It's what have I learned through this? And really sitting some time in reflection on that. It's
I think another question I have is have you been meditating much?
no.
I love that we both
I
make a
set
very
up
similar face when we know we haven't been doing something we should be.
yeah, it's like I set up that widget. I sent you a screenshot. I set up that widget for the 3 habits I wanted to have. Meditate, move, floss my teeth. And I just haven't been. I just haven't been.
It's
And I
so
feel
easy
like
to ignore those.
yeah. And the thing is I thought the widget would help because the widget helps with my Duolingo.
Mm.
Or it's oh, like I have to do my Duolingo today or else the number will die. But this is not like that. And yeah, no, I haven't.
Okay.
And I know it's the same thing every time. It's like, have you worked out? No. Have you meditated? No. What are we doing? What are we doing?
We get so caught up in our lives, right? And it's easy to forget, and it's easy to avoid the habits when we've got other things going on, and you just, in your case at least, it sounds like you just forget. With meditation, it's not like you necessarily actively avoid it. Am I right? It's more about you just get too busy and consumed with other things, and it just slips your mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though I say that, but then it's literally on your phone. So
It's literally on my phone. What am I doing? I don't know. Yeah, I can make it my homework to like meditate every day this week.
yeah,
Just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes.
do you think
Like
that's doable?
really? Yeah,
That doesn't
it
sound
is
convincing
doable.
at all.
I know it doesn't sound convincing. It's because I'm not convinced. I'm gonna write it down.
Why?
Meditation.
Okay, but what's going to get in the way? Look at your next 7 days. What's going to get in the way of not doing it?
I mean, nothing.
Yeah.
Like like literally just forgetting or like getting caught up in it all. I think it's like the lack of routine, to be honest with you. It's get up and have to do my thing and just it slips my whatever. But it's like I'm a meditation teacher. That's literally my podcast. I need to be walking the talk. The only thing holding us back from doing our shit is ourselves. And
Yeah.
it's important to me to be that person where I say I'm going to do something and I do it. And I am that way with a lot of things and with most of the things. But for some reason, meditation, not. But okay, let's do it.
You're much better at doing things, right? You're actually an action taker. It's usually me that comes back with that smile on my face, that sort of sly smile that I haven't done something when we ask about homework checkups. So, and it's natural as human nature, is gonna happen every now and then. But I think meditation is something you really need to focus on, definitely.
Okay, I have it on my list. We got shit to do. Go to the gym, dude.
Are you trying
Or
to
go
tell
for a
me
run.
something? Are you trying to tell me I look fat?
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to tell you look fat because I haven't
No,
seen
I
these
know.
photos, these before and after photos.
Yeah, I
You
don't
know what
know.
I'm saying?
I was debating whether I should send them or not. Maybe I will. But it's quite a sight.
Just take care of your body. I'll meditate, you move.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to. I'm in a group chat for like fitness accountability, so I just need to get more active in that as well, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what this is. This is just accountability, basically. All right, y'all. Well, we'll see. Thanks for listening to this episode. Honestly, it's so nice. This is such a grounding practice for me to just talk to you for an hour
too.
every week.
Me too.
Yeah, it's like a check-in of what is happening with my life and not getting
100%. No, it's I think it's a really nice thing to have.
even if this like never takes off, I just love it's like such a grounding thing to talk to you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah, it was funny because I was talking to Dr. Leprechaun and I was telling him like, "Oh, we're gonna go see Steph," and he's like, "How have I never heard of Steph before?" And I'm like, "You definitely have," but I'm like, in the same way that I'm close with Josh, I'm close with Steph. But I think it's funny that I'm using you as a baseline for how close I am with someone.
Yeah, nice.
Because you're the only friend that I talk to like consistently at this point.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
what an honor.
Yeah. Feeling like an honored bitch. Okay. We'll catch you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and follow along on social media.
If you would like us to help you mastermind something in your life, please send us a message.
We'll see you next week on the Mastermind Moments podcast.